You could say Monday nights went to the dogs a year ago, and so far this season, the puppies are certainly having their way. Only one favorite has gotten you the cash in Vegas so far, and that was the Pittsburgh Steelers in their road route of the Washington Redskins. The other three favorites on Mondays? Bad news for the Bears, bad news for the Rams, bad news for the Saints. Last week against Atlanta, they all took dives. Meanwhile, only one home team has gotten you the cash in Vegas as well, and that, ironically, a Monday night home dog, the 49ers, in the second half of that Week 1 twin bill, a 2.5-point puppy with the 28-0 shutout of the Rams. The other home teams, those being the Bears, the Saints, and the Redskins, all coming up short. But hey, listen, guys, forget about the Monday night home dogs. Forget about who has the advantage, because really, statistically speaking, over the past 20 years, Monday night favorites, Monday night home dogs, it's really almost a break-even proposition. How about this little statistical oddity that I've updated you with over the past few years here on the video reports? Why not just pick the straight-up winner? Yeah, just pick the straight-up winner. The hell with everything else. Forget about flipping a coin. Just pick the straight-up winner, because you realize that so far this week, every single game played, the straight-up winner has covered the spread, right? You realize that, don't you? And last week, the straight-up winner went 13-1-2 against the spread. And in week number 2, the straight-up winner went 14-1-1 against the spread. And in week number 1, the straight-up winner went 11-2-3 against the spread. Can you do better than that? And that's been the trend over the past few years. I can't tell you why. I think it's just one of those oddities, a statistical anomaly. But again, the straight-up winner covered every single game this weekend. So hell, just pick the straight-up winner tonight. Boom. You'll get the point spread cover, and off we go. So you don't have to watch the rest of this video report. You don't even have to figure out and handicap the game. Just pick the straight-up winner. Boom. You got money in the bank. But since you're here, let's analyze this game anyway. Yesterday, cashed in with another free pick with the Denver Broncos. 8-4 with a push so far with my NFL freebies so far this season. I've cashed in with 7 out of 10 free picks, in fact, since last Monday night. And tonight, I have a play on the total for this game, which is currently sitting right around 43 points. Wouldn't be surprised to see this one drop down to 42, 42.5 as the day progresses. Listen, is there any way to play this game other than the under? Now, the Giants opened up strong defensively. They scored the 20-19 win at Dallas in week number 1, and we have certainly seen the Cowboys progress offensively here as the season has turned, because Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott have certainly gotten that offense going. And then in week number 2, they did a great job holding the Saints to like 280-some yards in total offense, and that win at home, 16-13 against New Orleans. And you've seen how the Saints have put points on the board against anybody since then. But the one point of concern for me in terms of the total here tonight is what happened last week, last Sunday at home for the Giants, because they had a total defensive collapse in the second half against the Washington Redskins. That was a game that they were up 21-9 in the third quarter, and then they allowed themselves to lose that game 29-27 to the Redskins. And Kirk Cousins just shredded that secondary for Big Blue in that game. And overall, the defense allowed 403 yards. And of course, the overall team had an implosion in terms of a lack of discipline. 11 penalties combined for the Giants in that game for 128 yards. So was that an anomaly, or was that really the Giants' defense? After 2 impressive outings, really after 10 quarters of good play, was it just one bad half against a desperate team that had started the year 0-2 and was perhaps playing for Jay Gruden's job? What do you know? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. Now, what we do know is that the Vikings defense is absolutely for real. I mean, look at the job they did last week in Carolina against a Panthers team that you know can put points on the board, a Panthers team that last year averaged a little over 31 points a game, a Panthers team that was moving the ball up and down the field in the first quarter against Carolina, and then it's like against the Vikings, and then it's like Minnesota's defense stood up and said, "That's it. You ain't moving the ball no more." They just hit Cam Newton relentlessly. I mean, showed him no mercy in that game last week. They sacked them 8 times, they forced 3 turnovers, and they walked away as what, a 6.5 point underdog with the 22-10 road win. And you remember what they did the week before to the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. And then when you combine that this is going to be the second game in their new stadium, and you know how loud it was for the opener a couple weeks ago against the Packers, that is not going to help Eli Manning's cause either. And then when you factor in that Eli Manning, you know, the Vikings, I think when you look at his career stats, he has his lowest pass completion percentage against the Vikings of any team in his entire career, only like a 54% completion percentage lifetime. I think 5 touchdowns versus 14 interceptions. Matter of fact, had 3 interceptions in that win by the Vikings, a double-digit blowout in New Jersey last year against the Giants. So when you put all those factors together, I think that you have to look at this game staying under. Plus, let's also not forget that the Vikings, through 3 games, they have shown that they can't run the ball. They couldn't run the ball with Adrian Peterson in week number 1 at Tennessee when he was healthy. They weren't running the ball before Peterson got hurt in week number 2 against the Packers. And they certainly weren't able to run the ball at Carolina last week. And we have seen that Carolina has absolutely no clue defensively. In fact, in that game against Carolina, it was a good thing the defense made a stand, because overall, the offense did absolutely nothing. I think they only had 13 first downs and 211 total yards in that game. So when you figure that the Giants are going to be focused tonight to have a rebound effort defensively after that total second half collapse against the Redskins, when you know that Minnesota's defense is for real, that's why I think this game tonight has low score written all over it. You know, it could be a 20-13 final. It could be a 17-13 final. It could be one of those 21-17 finals. I think this is going to be a close game point spread-wise. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game as well. So, again, I just don't think this is going to be a 28-20 game, okay? This is not going to be 31-27. This is not going to be anything close to the Saints and the Falcons a week ago. So, again, I would take this game under. If you're going to play the total, that's the only way I can possibly see this one going. That'll do it, guys. I wish you well, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Actually, I won't be talking to you again tomorrow. I probably won't be doing a video report tomorrow. I will probably be coming back either Wednesday or Thursday doing the video report, because there's not a hell of a lot to talk about the next couple of days. And plus, I'll be busy on Tuesday shooting this week's edition of the Countdown to Kickoff show with Steve Budin. So just check out the homepage and you'll see either the video report or you'll check out the pre-pick at the top of the page. Wish you well, guys, and good luck tonight on this game between the Vikings and the Giants.